Good morning, my name is Shomi Saran from Team IMC. Today I am going to demo network configuration part. To set up communication between the server and client virtual machine without external interface, we configure both virtual machine to use internal network in VirtualBox. Okay, I am going to show that in settings, network. Okay, for the server, the adapter 1 we attach to NET. For the adapter 2, we attach to the internal network. Same goes to client. For the adapter one, we attach to the internal network. This ensures that they are isolated from external network but can communicate with each other within the same private network. In this setup, we have two virtual machines, which is server and client. The host name for the server is set to server as per the requirement. So we can verify it by using the command in the server terminal by pressing host name CTL. So as you can see, the host name is server. Then same goes to the client. We press host name CTL. So the host name is client, which is we can confirm that the both host name are server and client. The server virtual machine is assigned a static IP address of 192.168.192.168.1254 as shown in the figure 1. So we configure the IP address by editing by using the command sudo nano /etc /network /interfaces. So as you can see, the address and net mask is same as the requirement. So we press Ctrl X to exit, and then to confirm that, we check the IP address using this command called IP address show. So as you can see, the IP address is same as the requirement. Same goes to the client. We press IP address show. So you can see the IP address is given as in the requirement. Okay. Now I'm going to explain difference between static and dynamic IP. So a static IP is manually assigned and does not change over time, making it ideal for servers. In this setup, the server virtual machine uses IP of 192.168.1.24 for consistency and reliability. For a dynamic IP is assigned by DHCP server and can change over time. In this setup, the client virtual machine is configured to obtain IP and IP dynamically from the server's DHCP service. For example, the client is assigned the IP address in range 192.168.15 to 192.168.110. Okay, now we're going to test the server can connect to the internet or not. So we clear the screen first. Okay, first we're going to ping with the Google www.google.com. So as you can see, the ping is working perfectly. So we're going to stop this by press Ctrl C. So as you can see, 9 packet transmitted and 9 packet received and 0 packet lost. So to confirm this, we're going to press Firefox and then we're going to choose the Wikipedia. So as you can see, the Wikipedia is working perfectly. So this ensures that the server connect to the internet. Thank you.
Salam sejahtera and good morning everyone. My name is Tiong Jin. Metric number B0323105005. Today I will be talking about what is DHCP, which stands for Dynamic host configuration protocol. It's an essential part to know how modern networks function, and also I will cover the key usages of DHCP. First, what is DHCP? DHCP is a protocol that automatically assigns IP addresses and other network configuration settings to devices such as computers, phones, or printers when these devices are connecting to a network. For example, when you connect to Wi-Fi, DHCP ensures your device gets an IP address without you having to manually configure it. It simplifies network management and eliminates the risk of errors. Next, let us talking about usages of DHCP. The first usage of DHCP is automatic IP address allocation. DHCP ensures that every device on the network gets a unique IP address dynamically. This saves time and reduces the chance of mistakes, especially in large networks. Second, the second usage of DHCP is centralized network management. With the assistance of DHCP, network administrators can manage important configurations like DNS servers, gateways, and subnet masks from a single server. This centralization simplifies managing complex network. Third is prevention of IP conflicts. DHCP prevents two devices from accidentally being assigned the same IP addresses, avoiding disruption to the network. Fourth is scalability for large networks. DHCP is highly scalable. Whether it's a small home network or an enterprise level setup with thousands of devices, DHCP efficiently handles the IP address allocation. After that, let us proceed to the DHCP testing. Welcome back to the DHCP testing. I open two tabs. At the left side is a server, at the right side is a client. So before we doing the testing of the communication between the server and the client, we need to ensure that our DHCP is functioning well. Means that in our server side, the DHCP must be in the running state. So how can we check the status of the DHCP? We can check it by running this command. Sorry. Status systems ctl status isc dash DHCP dash server. Press enter. So you can see that the DHCP in the server side is currently inactive. So usually the DHCP should be in running state, but sometimes there is some cases the causes will cause the DHCP become an inactive status. So we need to restart the DHCP server by running this command systemctl restart isc-dhcp server to restart the DHCP server. So we press enter. Now we check back the status of the DHCP. So you can see the DHCP is currently running. So it means that DHCP is functioning well in the server side now. So after that, we can start to check about the communication between the server and client. First, check about the communication from the client to the server. Before that, we need to know what is the IP address of the server. So by typing the IPA, we can get the IP address of the server from here. So the IP address of server is 192.168.1.254. In the client side, we can write in then the server IP address 192.168.1.254. That's it. So you can see that it's starting to come out the ping log, means that at the client is give a response, give a request to the server, and then the server is giving response back to the client. So it means that both are successfully communication. So how about server give a response to the client? In this case, at the client side, we type IP to check the IP address of the client. So in the client side, the IP address is 192.1x16x.1.5. So similar with what we did just now, like pin 192.168.1.5 percent. Okay, so in here it means that the server is giving the request to the client, and then the client is give back the response or reply back to the server. Means that actually the both side of the server and client is successfully communication by the DHCP. So that's all for DHCP. Thank you so much.
I am Haris Analiki Arsoris and number is B032 and today we're going to do testing for SFTP. Before we start, let's learn about SFTP. SFTP stands for Secure File Transfer Protocol. It's a network protocol used to transfer files securely between a client and a server. SFTP operates over an encrypted connection using SSH, which is an secure shell, which ensures the confidentiality and integrity of data during transfer. What are the benefits of SFTP? SFTP protects against eavesdropping and man-in-the-middle attacks, and also uses strong SSH-based authentication mechanisms, and it requires only a single port to be opened, unlike FTP, which often require multiple ports. The uses of SFTP is to upload and download files securely from a remote server, and also used for backing up sensitive data and sharing files between teams or systems with strong security requirements. Now let's do the testing for SFTP. To make sure that SSH key is active and running. So with the server's terminal, you need to type this sudo system status. So as you can see, the SSH key is active and running. You can press Ctrl to exit. Now let's log in as the SFTP user. As you can see, we have been logged in to the SFTP in the client terminal. You can just press Ctrl D to exit the SFTP. Now let's go to the client. Let's create a file. Then we input as this is testing. Now let's log in as a SFTP user using the same command we used in the previous terminal. So as you can see, even the client also can access SFTP. Now let's put the file inside. Let's upload the SFTP testing file. To a directory called mini-project.os. So as you can see, it is uploading. Now let's exit and go to our server. Let's log in again as our SFTP user. Now let's get the file. So as you can see, it shows fetching, so it means we are downloading the file using SFTP. Now let's check whether we actually fetch the file or not. Succeed. Let's enter the command cat SFTP testing. It shows that we did the secure file transfer using SFTP from client to the server. That's all.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Arif Aiman bin Karim. Matrix number B0T323102257. Now I will present the web server section. So to begin, let us understand what exactly is web server. So basically, a web server is a system that hosts websites or web-based applications. It allows users, which we call as client, to access content like web pages or files over the internet or local network. You can think of it as the backbone of any website. There are also several popular web server software options available, but as of now, Apache and Nginx are widely used for hosting websites due to their flexibility and performance. So, what are the functionalities of web server? The primary web functions of a web server include hosting websites and handling requests from clients such as web browsers. For example, when you visit a website, the server will send back the necessary files to display that particular page. Web server also process dynamic content like user input through the backend applications. So next, what can we use web server for? So web servers have a wide range of use cases. They could be used for hosting public websites, manage internal resources for organizations, and even serve as a tool for developers to test and debug web applications locally. Now, let's move on to the testing part. Previously, we have tested the DHCP and SFTP that we configured. Now, we will test the web server that we have configured in our virtual Linux computer. First of all, the testing is done by accessing the web page that is stored and hosted by the server that we have set up from the client. So, on the left side here, we have Virtual Linux for server side, and the right side, we have Virtual Linux for client side. First, we must make sure that the service for Apache 2 web server software that we install is active. This is because our files will be hosted through the web software service. We can check it by entering command to the server sudo systemctl status Apache 2. As you can see here, it is not active. So what we can do is we must activate it by entering command sudo systemctl start Apache 2. So after issue this command, we know that it is active. So what we can do is we must test it on the server side first. This is to ensure that everything works fine on the server side. So we must open a web browser and test it by entering the IP address 192.168.1.254. So as you can see, the web page is exactly as the content of our index.html file, which means that it successfully loaded the content of the file. Now we must also test it on the client side. We test it by also going to a browser and enter the URL 192.168.1.254. And it also should output the same result. So that this indicates that we have successfully configured the web server. That's all from us. Thank you.